Nothing better than a first cup of coffee in the morning. Hello, friends. Mark Holmes here with my buddy CowboyJobu, and as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, and subscribing to the Jobu Sports Report. Because without you guys, well, I don't want to think about life without you guys, because you guys are incredible. And I want to thank you guys so much because we're closing in on 15,000, and to me that still just blows me away that I have almost 15,000 subscribers. A year ago this time I was happy that I had 1,000, so it's been a great ride. And the great thing about YouTube is you can look through the demographics. I can see now that we're actually getting more women that are subscribing to the channel, and that's really cool. You can look and see what states people are coming from, and it's not just Texas. Believe it or not, New York, Virginia, and Maryland are actually some of the, and Florida are the highest areas in the United States that we have people that are watching. But it's every state in the union. And as you look at the world, I notice, there's Japan, there's Australia, there's Saudi Arabia, there's Iraq, and Afghanistan. Now, as much as I like to think that Saudi Arabians are enjoying the Jobu Sports Report, what it makes me realize is a lot of you guys that are watching are soldiers, airmen, in the Navy, in the military, that are out there defending our country. And I just want to make sure that I say thank you from the bottom of my heart, because what you guys do, putting your life on the line in war and in peace for us, I can't thank you guys enough. You guys being out there enables me to be here, safe at home, doing this. It allows us to have our freedoms and democracy, and even though we don't always agree and stuff, it's because of you guys, that we are able to do what we are doing. And I don't think we can ever repay you guys for your sacrifices and what you do. And so from the bottom of my heart, again, I am saying thank you. So with that being said, people, you see somebody in the military and see them in uniform, tell them thank you for the service. Make sure that you do. We do not do enough for our people in the military. All right, I'm off my soapbox now. So, like I always say, you can't sleep on the Dallas Cowboys. Literally, you can't go to bed and go to sleep because stuff always happens 24/7. And especially it seems like with Zeke Elliott, stuff always happens in the middle of the night. So what was being reported and rumors that were going around is that Zeke Elliott and the NFL have had discussions about a settlement. Now, before we get all too excited and everything else, typically that does go on in courts. I mean, we've all watched Law and Order and things like that. And it may be, one side is kind of saying, you know what, we're not looking real good here. Let's feel them out and see if we can kind of settle this. Because more times than not, things are settled and deals are made instead of actually going to trial. It's just the way the system works. And you've seen Law and Order where, the prosecutor will say, well, here, we'll offer you this deal. And they'll say, are you kidding me? We got all kinds of evidence and stuff like that. Take 5-game suspension. We'll see you in court. That could have been all the discussions that they've had. Because what's happened is one side will get a leg up. Zeke will get a restraining order, and a judge in Texas that says, you know what, you guys are being unfair to him, by withholding evidence, yada, yada, yada. Then the NFL might say, okay, well, Zeke, maybe we can reduce this to 4 games or something. And his lawyers will say, you know what, we got a case here. And then after it got thrown out, you might get Zeke Elliott's people out there saying, hey, how about we go to 2 games? NFL says, buddy, you're about to get all 6. So more than likely, that's what's happened. Unless the NFL has woken up and realizes that this is a no-win situation. The fact that this has been going on and on and on and on because they were trying to make a statement about domestic violence because of the black eye they had before. They clearly screwed up in other cases. And they're trying to make up for all of those. Unfortunately, I believe they picked the wrong case, or they went about it the wrong way. If they had gone through and said, you know what, Zeke Elliott, it's not domestic violence, it's the accusations, it's the Boobygate. It's the totality of everything that's going on. We're going to suspend you because we need you to sit down and realize we cannot take the hit on the shield for what you're doing. But the moment they made it all about and only about domestic violence, then it was a totally different thing, because now you really needed to prove it. They came out with their 160-page report, which sounded like damaging information. Like, oh my God, they got literally a whole book on Zeke Elliott. Until you started reading the book and realized it was all fluff. It wasn't the whole story. It was one-sided. But by that point, the die had been cast. So they have to kind of go through. So they're fighting now for basically keeping every NFL player from taking this to court, as well as trying to keep the collective bargaining agreement in place. On the other side of the fence, DeMar Smith wants that collective bargaining agreement tore up and stripping some of the power from Roger Goodell. So that's why the NFLPA is going at this like pit bulls. And they will do the same thing with the collusion case for Colin Kaepernick. Because if they can prove collusion, all of a sudden, that deal is gone. And then all hell breaks loose. So we'll see what happens. At least we have Zeke Elliott for the next 2 weeks. Hopefully, we'll just kind of let this whole thing rest for 2 weeks and we'll get back to talking about football. Because we got a game on Sunday against an 0-6 team that the last 5 games they lost by 3 points or less. And sooner or later, one of those games are going to turn. The bad thing for our Cowboys, we don't do good after time off. Bye weeks. Take a look at our playoff record when we've had a bye week. We've had a week off. Coming out of the byes, I believe we are 6-6. Not where you think you would be having extra rest. But hopefully, this will be the perfect one to turn that to 7-6 record. I'm Mark Holmes. This is CowboyJobu. And whenever news breaks on the Cowboys, you know I'll be bringing it to you here. And again, thank you, all the people in the military.